Welcome to the Phoenix Prosperity Podcast, where wealth meets legacy. Join your host, Tim Fergestad, as we explore the journeys of Phoenix's finest to success and beyond.
All right. Hello, this is Tim Fergestad. Thank you for joining us. I'm very pleased to have Jane Kupkowski with me today. Jane is the CEO of Global Women of Influence and Power, United States of America at Forbes, and she's a multidisciplinary expert, having several roles in her career. She's worn lots of hats, so I'm excited to talk to her. Welcome to the show, Jane.
Thank you for having me.
All right. So, do you want to give us a snapshot of sort of your main focus right now?
Yeah. I am an entrepreneur, and I usually go into companies now and I help build upon their sales and maybe restructurize if there are Fortune 500 companies or universities or small businesses that need to generate more sales and clients and or are in the middle of a merge. So with my experience and my background, I usually go in and help build that out and then hopefully increase the prosperity and the retention of the client, as well as elevate any health and economic needs and solutions to the company.
Okay. Okay. Can you talk a little bit about how you got into that role, considering yeah, like I said, you've had a diverse background.
Yeah. So with my background experience, it's kind of one door after another of opening up. But I I first when I first went to college, I started out as a physiologist and built upon that through work experience. A lot of it was applied knowledge, right? Our knowledge is applied wisdom in our life. So many people usually are traditional track of going to school then working. However, I was on more advanced track in my career field and educational field, and I went to school much earlier than most people. Being I was homeschooled, and then I went to college, and in college I was at a bachelor's level. I was at a PhD level of learning. So when I left school as a physiologist, I was already a fitness director hired at a university to renovate and build out the programs, services, and things to the university. By that point, when you're in an advanced program or advanced level of anything, if that's entrepreneurship or in science and medicine, there will always be expedited things that you're going to learn in a rapid succession, and also you're going to master them in order for you to advance the company better. So I think that the biggest thing is, as a multidisciplinary expert, if I was to share with someone, you have to master not just one or two skills, but maybe seven different skills sets. And you have to it's critical that you know those, and it's almost like you just wake up and just you can do it with your eyes closed. That's the way I can explain it. The company then usually will be in middle of a renovation, like I said, a merge, or they will be in a different restructuralization of increased sales, right? They need to generate more money. So they will bring someone in order to expedite that vision in the most seamless manner with a team and make sure we decrease any of the happenstance of losing clientele. So retaining clientele is the biggest thing with sales, and that's what I come into play, and I help companies make sure that that happens, and then find solutions to some of the issues that they're having internally and externally in delivering that vision. So that is kind of in order to do that, you have to be skilled at not only analytics, but you have to be skilled in like very creative mind as well and fast
Right.
thinking.
Right.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about the importance of mindset and for a lot of this?
Yeah. The mindset that you have to have, like I said, is not just analytics. you can have your own vision as an entrepreneur. You can build out your own company, but when you start increasing, like going out into other companies and partnering with other companies, understanding how to come underneath someone else's vision and in that their mindset of what they need and want you to do is difficult, because you do have to humble yourself in different circumstances and situations working with different types of visions. But what I explain to people is always note that, with every type of mindset you have a servanthood mindset with a person. So you come in and you steward their company correctly with their resources. So anytime you step into a role at a new company, if that's a university Fortune 500, or um, potentially a smaller base company, a firm or something, understand that they're going to have their operations and things, and then to come alongside someone and just note that you are bringing a unique set of skill sets to the company to meet their requirements. That is not only going to make sure you have job opportunities and new doors always opening up in your life, and new opportunities to partner with new professionals, right, with different skill sets and meeting new professionals, but it's also going to sharpen your mind. So you are always, not only if it's not a physical activity like a professional athlete would do a sport where you would master the skill set of a sport in a professional way, you're mastering your mind.
Mhm.
So your mind is just like you would master a marathon or doing a sport, right? The same thing is they're hiring you and you are mastering a critical skill daily, operationally, to operate at a higher capacity for them, to deliver something faster to them. And this will not only increase your longevity, but this will ensure that you're sharper as you age, sharper throughout your day, sharper throughout your memory log, and it will also exercise your capacity for resilience and readiness. If something were ever to happen and you were to have a setback as an entrepreneur, your mindset is 100% the biggest deal of if you're going to come down or go up
Sure.
in that situation. And so I share with people, it's like you can't just sit back if you're retired and say, okay, I retired, I made it, I'm successful, I got that. You have to keep that mind going and sharpen. And if it's even taking a role as an analyst, if it's even taking a role as a scientist at a different company, and just slowly but surely helping them, producing something and contributing to that company, you are still, you're not sitting back and not utilizing that part of your mind. You know what I'm saying? People let that go, and that's what causes that to go down in operational capacity. Of course, resting is of you need to, take rest periods of that, but to operate at that level, when you when you go back into the company or whatever role that you're going to have, you find the task and you sharpen it by focusing 100% on the task daily. If it's simple analytical numbers that they want you to operate to deliver daily, you do it with such precision that by the end of the year, there's not like one number missed, one receipt missed, not one thing missed, and you can memorize it to the point, like if someone's to tell you to recall that thing in 10 years, you'll be able to recall what you did at that company. That's how precision and mentally you should be in your life. That's full capacity operations.
Okay. Okay. You mentioned marathons. You were a professional athlete in
Yeah.
ultras and triathlons. So mindset's huge in that. Can you speak a little bit to what type of mindset that requires and how that translates into some of the other positions we were
Yeah.
talking about?
So when I put together like my website to show my memory log, okay, of my ultra marathon career, okay, I can tell you, for example, I can recall to you if you were to point at a trophy or a medal or something on the wall, okay, and
Hmm.
say, recall to me this race. recall to me where you were, what state you were, what you raced in, how you got from point A to point B, what place you came in and why. I can recall that.
Hmm.
Okay. I can recall to you even to the point of that race I didn't do as well. That race I triumphed, I won, I broke a world record. I can recall that to you and what race it was and how I got there and why it happened the way it happened. Um, and why I say this is so important in your longevity process or just human performance. To do these exercises, to do this in your life, like that sport, not only it's a conditioning sport of self-control and sheer willpower and just being able to control not just your body, but the mind of focus, just to focus completely on if it's ultra triathlon, for example, is a good one. I did a triple Ironman back in 2008. I got a world record there. I was the youngest female to complete it. It's 421.8 miles. I did it in
Wow.
64 hours. The level
Wow.
of focus I did was I only swam um 4 miles. I had to swim 7 miles though to complete it. But music is very powerful to focus. And when I was in the water, I focused with music and I was able to just literally like the rhythm of my I knew the rhythm to my body of my mind and my body were in rhythm to finish and complete the 7 miles. I then knew that my nervous system had to calm down before I started the 336-mile bike. That is how much rhythm, that is how much I was in tune with my body and my mind in one accord. And the other part was 3 marathons. And I knew that I had to all my energy had to go to just focusing on my lower body during the cycle portion, which I had to cycle overnight to complete that. And then if I the portion of running, I had to drop my upper body a little bit down and I had to look down at the ground in order to complete the 3 marathons in the time frame
Hmm.
it allows because you have a time frame. So when you're focusing at that level of capacity, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, everything is in sync. You are very in tune with not just what your body needs, but the rhythm of everything in the food I ate, the timing I ate it, the water I drank, every single thing that came in my body and out of my body. This matters because it correlates to entrepreneurship. If you are in
Okay.
sync with how you're building, what is your vision, what is your plan, what are the like the blind spots as an entrepreneur, what could happen, we know these things like can happen as an entrepreneur when you're building a company. But in an ultra marathon, in a triple Ironman, you can kind of forecast if you're pro. These are the things that will happen. My body's going to give out. At this mile, I'm going to fall into this situation.
Right.
If you talk to any professional in that sport, I raced with David Goggins back in the day. He could tell you this. You know when you're hitting the wall. You know when the body's going to drop off that you cannot do anymore. That is the same concept as an entrepreneur to get back up and rebuild, get back up and reinvest, get back up and look for another partnership to partner with correctly in your field to do something even greater. The same capacity you have in that physical mental connection you have to have as an entrepreneur. And
Right.
when you connect it, it is very powerful. It is very powerful. You literally will you'll be like you'll just have the idea. It's like the same idea that the listen, if you the thought that I could complete a triple Ironman and do that had to begin with a thought. It had to be up here. There's very few people. There's only 23 people in the world that have like completed that successfully at that time. You get invited. It's like the Olympics. It begins with a thought. The same concept begins with a thought of I'm going to become an entrepreneur. I'm not going to sit at this job any longer. I'm not going to live like this any longer. The same, you have to elevate your capacity to receive, right? I'm not going to live like this. So in society, they teach you not to be in that box. But the moment you have the thought, if the thought didn't enter in, I that's the first beginning to actually the belief system, right? Your belief to
Right.
actually believe that.
Because you're going
Most
to
people
have
cannot.
some strong faith when things get hard.
Yeah. So most people belief system, it's not that your belief system is faulty. That's not what I'm trying to say, because there's different belief systems of what you can and cannot do. But there's a lot of people that they're stuck in one capacity level, and they just stop there mentally, emotionally, spiritually, like everything, even relationally. Oh, I don't think I can work over. What if I just didn't think, oh, what if I cannot work over in this company over here? I just worked in this field. I'm gonna go over here now. Fear starts taking place. I can't make it in this industry. I mean, what are they gonna need me for? I don't know anything about the industry. I'm stepping into an industry, all these professionals, and lo and behold, they might need you need to step in, and the skill set that you're going to have is going to contribute to that team, and you're going to learn that, okay, this person has this skill. Okay, this is where they need me to maximize what I'm doing for you.
Right.
That's what you need me to do. And that
Right.
if you're a very detailed person, if you're listen, there are jobs that are you need to be very detailed. You need to be like a perfectionist. You need to be a there's organized, whatever that thing is to master it. But if you're a very detailed person, for example, there are people, there are owners, there are a lot of owners that love that. They love the fact that you caught that thing before they could, because they just saved them, $1,000 or whatever, $1 million,
Sure.
whatever that thing is. So you have to be that person, and that takes mental capacity to focus like that. To be that sharp with someone. To notice the blind spot. Like, listen, I see that you have this over here in this company. Do you know that like this could happen? Did you ever think about this? And before it happens, preventative, right? Prevent the thing from happening completely, and save you money and time. So and resources, and potential clientele. So that takes a level of, yes, knowledge, experience, and wisdom, but that takes a level of also mental capacity of a person.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah.
Having that
Yeah.
capacity and broad interests and a belief and confidence has allowed you to wear different hats and go into different things. What was the most impactful experience you've had? And I believe it was your decade in Japan. Was that right?
Mm. Yeah, that because I think the first thing I need to say is
Okay.
the American culture is we're type A, which I'm guilty of it too. I was type A before I went to Japan. Okay, Japan is a completely different culture than ours. Um, it is completely different culture. It was good for me to go to Japan because one is I got to learn outside of America, their health system, the way they do health, wellness, fitness, the way they their cleanliness, the etiquette of them, and socially their health, their longevity of why they have what they have, why their economics works like that. Excuse me. And a lot of my colleagues and friends, and I was a supervisor while I was there working, and I learned because I was over 25 Japanese contractors. Okay, were reporting to me every day, daily.
Mhm.
So I had to learn very quickly that this is their custom, their rules, the way they do things, and you have to be very flexible, but you very patient. And I thought I was a very patient person before, and I thought, but then it really it
Yeah.
does test you. because your type A personality it's not going to go as the way you think. So 10 and a half years with them, it was the greatest, most enriching time, mentally, emotionally. It was challenging. It had to make me think outside the box.
Sure. Transformative.
I had to be very flexible in how I dealt with just everything from meetings I had to daily interactions with my staff to but my growth, the growth that came out of it. And so um you know I just I learned so much. I learned about their the way they do healthcare there, um how they occupationally work. They are very hard workers, very hard workers. I never saw some of them never took off a day. They never, I mean, they were always there working. It really taught me. I am Polish and Dutch background. We are I come from a long lineage of workers and leaders in my family and people that work. And I will tell you, there's another level of work when you go to Japan of what they're like. And another enriching thing about it too was learning their culture and then learning about um being a diplomat, being an ambassador there with them for years. I spent most of my holidays, my birthdays, most of the greatest memories. And as a neuroscientist, as a physiologist, as a person, as a psychologist that deals with memory, I have to say, they are the greatest memories of my life. The greatest memories of my life. Um, even in the not so good times when it was no one's fault, things we went through over there, but the things that we had to overcome, as friends, as colleagues, as people that I enjoyed showing up to work, working with, everything from public affairs people, the marketing team. These people are not, and the salon spa, these people are not just passing people that I saw in a day. No, I knew them. I know their names. Okay. I remember every single one of them. Um, and then to come out of certain situations that we had to deal with, disaster relief situations that were very traumatic on everybody, and to rebuild. And that's what birthed out my foundation, the firm, my business, my company. Um, some people ask me, is this the tragedy of it? Well, yeah, but something beautiful did happen out of that. Our bond became stronger, our friendship became stronger, working together became stronger, trust became stronger. My friendship, my good friend, she's now married to a Japanese military man, and she got married before I left. Has a baby boy, and she's the one who raised the money for that rehabilitation center. So no one can tell me she's 45 years old, and when I met her, she's a single woman working at a recreational facility as a contract officer. Met me Little did she know, met me in 2009 and our paths crossed if I didn't get on a plane. And the next thing you know, she thought she's going to be just working behind a recreational center the rest of her life. And the way you transform a person's life and you bring them into a liberated state of anything as an entrepreneur is to first work with their mind, because I had to help her with her believing she could become a contractor, Pilates, yoga, become a business woman. From there, you have to then the belief system of, I believe I'm going to get married. I believe I'm going to have a child.
Right.
Okay. Everything starts with the mind. The moment a person does not believe that, they lose all hope. They lose all hope. Okay. So it is imperative, and I must say this, that people are take that with a level of sacred. Like if you're dealing in this field or this, you definitely don't want to work in the field if you do not understand Uh, a person in 5 years, you see a person at 40, and then in 45, their life is completely different. You're like, you went from like, whoa, now you're over here. Now you're, yeah, in 1 year of her life became unbelievably different in 1 year. Okay. And this is the power of the mind. This is the power of belief. And most people crush people when they're sharing like something like personal as, I'd like to one day get married, I'd like to one day have a kid, I'd like to one day and that, that's a belief. She had those beliefs, she had these beliefs, this was going to happen in my life. No manifestation of it in her life when I met her. But then as life, took place after she raised the money with me, and did the rehabilitation center, we returned back to Japan, and her boyfriend at the time, who's in the Japanese military, who I happened to train the Japanese military at that time, um, it proposed to her when she got back from that trip. And then within 6 months of that, she got pregnant at like in her late 40s. That's
Oh
late as a
boy.
woman. And so this is why I share this. This is very powerful. And sometimes I have to step away from the work in order to actually talk. It's just say what is. But there are a lot of people in the field, maybe medicine or science, they'll say something like, oh, you're too old, or you're too this, or it's kind of like a lost hope thing, like a lost thing in someone. But at 45 years old, she had a healthy baby boy, and she was able to leave the work environment. She
Mhm.
works from home now. She has the skill
Excellent.
sets to work from home. She has skill sets now to work from home. Her husband still works, and she's empowered. And so
Sure.
I think
Sure.
in life, when you step into a role, a CEO, a GM, a whatever role, and you see your colleagues, you see people you work around, don't just look at it like this person is just, I mean, I could have just looked at these people who I'm speaking about and just been like, okay, these are just my contractors, my colleagues, little did I know I was going to affect someone's life on that magnitude with my skill sets, with my background, with what I was able to contribute
Right.
and you can change the direction of someone's life completely. I'm talking within a short amount of time, and they will
Yeah,
be,
that's
yeah.
very
So that's,
impactful. That's
yeah,
great.
I have to share that because it not only is it's very, it just speaking about it right now is making me just feel inspired, empowered, because I think a lot of people are losing hope with a lot of things in their life that they think are dormant desires of having a family or building a business, or maybe becoming something, right? She became a couple different things contractor wise when I hired her. But those things, someone will come along, and hopefully other entrepreneurs and other bosses or other GMs or other supervisors will listen and empower the person to get up,
Sure.
you
Absolutely.
know? So
Yep.
yeah,
Yep. Okay, that's great. That's great, Jane.
yeah.
Now, as we wrap up the interview, do you have any initiatives coming up or any exciting plans for the next 12 months?
Oh my goodness. Well, I just was in New York City. It's kind of exciting because I got back into an industry that I think, I don't know, they're probably wondering where I was in life being in Japan for 10 and a half years. But I did not disappear. I just took a break um with things, but I did go to New York City. I did have some opportunities, doors open up for um back in the fashion and beauty and skincare and health for women in America. And with the doors that just opened up, I'm continuing forward in that mission for families and anyone else I can, consult with and help. And I just went to New York. I had some opportunities with some brands, some top brands again. Doors opened up with some brands that want to work with me. To give them visibility and help them generate some things for, like I said, like their health, wellness, fitness industry still, but just be my own mainly partner and still be able to consult with my own company. So
Okay.
that's kind of where we're at right now.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. That's great. That's great, Jane. So
Yeah.
if people would like to connect with you and learn more, what should they do?
I would say like get on LinkedIn is the best thing right now for where I'm at because working with the companies in New York and then now Virginia and gonna go back to Arizona and see some people too. Um I will say the best route is LinkedIn right now to for
Okay.
what's going on right now.
Jane Kupkowski.
Yep, yep. And um yeah, and the opportunities that just opened up again, it really does fit the vision of what I've always done. I've worked with in the fashion and health and skincare and hair care and industry with that. The car company does fit well. And so I'm really excited about all the partnership because it does fit the vision of my life and like the culmination of some past projects I've done. So yeah, just continue forward in a positive direction.
Okay, excellent. All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you, everybody, for listening and watching. Thank you very much, Jane Kupkowski, for joining me today. We appreciate you sharing some of your stories and insights into success. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Inspired by our guests? Visit phoenixprosperitypodcast.com/guest and join us on the show and share your success story with Tim. The spotlight awaits.